Alright guys, today we're installing a dash cam in my Chevrolet Suburban. This is a 2018 Suburban. I've had it about 6 months. One thing you want to do when you get a car, and if it doesn't have the built-in dash cam, you want to get one, and there's a lot of great options. This is one from Ombar. This is a really nice one. It's got a lot of cool features to it, and it's at a great price point. So I just want to show you some of the features. Let's go through what's included in the box. Installation is pretty straightforward. All you have to do is really plug it in to a 12-volt socket and then just run the cords. It does have front and rear cameras, so you're going to have a camera mounted on the windshield and then one on the back glass. Here's our front camera. This is a sticky pad. This is going to mount right up by the rear view mirror. And here on the side we've got our USB port. We've got a rear port for the camera, the Wi-Fi button, and the micro SD card. That's a 64 gig SD card. Because it's Wi-Fi, you can access it through the app, and I'll show you how we download that. The rear camera has a cord to it, and there's also a length of cable that we'll be able to run it from the front to the back. We can mount this anywhere on the back window, maybe the back trim, so we've got some options on that. Here's basically everything that's included with it. We've got our 2 cameras, we've got a little trim tool. This is going to help kind of push the cord up into the headliner and the trim pieces. We've got an extra piece. This is for like the adhesive pad on this if you ever need to remove that. This is the length of cord to run all the way to the back. This is the one for the front, and then it just plugs in for power. It just plugs into a 12-volt outlet. And we also have these clear adhesive pads. These go on the windows, and this is where the camera is going to mount to, and it's going to help it adhere to the window. Some of the features of this: we have 4K resolution in the front recorder, 1080p on the rear, GPS tracking, connect Wi-Fi, and it has 24-hour parking monitor. Now, if you want the 24-hour parking monitor, there is a hardwire kit that you can get that will wire this directly to the battery. We have to plug in our 12-volt socket here. I have a couple options here. I've got one right here, a 12-volt socket. I also have one under my armrest that I'm not using, and this might be a good option if it'll fit in there. It has this little like channel right here, so we could run a cord through there, loop it down there, under the trim, around there, down there, up there, all the way up back up to here. So we'd have to snake it quite a bit, but it would push underneath like the headliner, under here, down the pillars. It would go in there pretty easily. It's not going to be that hard. It's just running it down there, keep getting it out of the way. This does have a pretty big length of cord, so that shouldn't be a problem for us to put it there. I just want to clean off the spot where the camera's going to go. It's not going to be like in the field of view of the driver, so I'm going to do that right there. The cable tucked in up under the headliner here. Use this little tool, and then you can just kind of pry back the trim pieces here, and just tuck the wire down in here, and I'll just really just take it down the pillar, down underneath the dash, back to my outlet. All right, I got the wire all tucked in. I've got it over here, and it's plugged in. So now I'm going to mount the camera up here in the spot that I have, and I'll be able to plug it in here. We can set up the app, and then running the cord for the rear one is going to be kind of the same process. It just takes time. It's not hard, guys. It takes some time to get it tucked in underneath here, kind of peeled back. That little tool helps. I'm just taking the adhesive off. I'm going to stick it up here. You want to make sure you kind of get this where it's not going to like obstruct your view of the road. And this is kind of like behind the rear view mirror. Download the app's called Cam. Download that, and then we'll turn on the power and get this set up. All right, once you download the app, you create an account, you log in, and then what you're going to do is log into, when you find the dash cam here, it has its own Wi-Fi signal. So we're going to go to that. We're going to enter a password. So you have to add the dash cam. You just put down that it's a screenless dash cam. You just check that you've connected to the Wi-Fi and that it's powered on, and it's just going to log in. So we got that message there, and it's going to show us current live. This is like live footage of what it's seeing out the front right there. I mean, there's a bunch of settings that we can do. Resolution, we can turn audio recording. It does date, time, speed, GPS stamp. We can select the sensor, how sensitive the sensor is, like the G-force sensor. For our rear camera, there's some options here. This one's a little harder to deal with because we have a glass that flips up with this hatch that flips up. So we'd have to run the cable through this rubber thing here into there, and then would somehow have to leave some slack in order for it to hang down. So for this case, I want to try leaving it right here. I have it just connected right on the top of this trim. It actually sticks up there really well. And then what I can do is just behind this trim, I can tuck the I can tuck this wire back behind it, and then I can run the cable all the way to the front, and these two connect just like that. These just notch together. We can run it there. I'll probably run it on this passenger side, tuck it up all the way under, all the way to the front under the headliner, and then connect into the dash cam at the front. This is long enough that it stretches all the way to the front. So, all right, this just plugs into this spot right here. We can just plug that in, and then now we have access to the rear camera, and it will record as well as the front camera. And if you go to volume, so it does have these different tones, like when you turn on the car, when it's recording, when you get Wi-Fi, you can turn those off. I turned those off just because I didn't really want to hear any noise from the camera. All right, now to access any like the album, to change any of the resolutions or even go to the settings, you do have to stop the recording, and every time you go back to this home screen, it records again, so you do have to keep stopping recording. But it's good that the camera's always going to be recording when the vehicle's on. Go into my album and just kind of see how the footage looks as I kind of collect it. Now I did do some nighttime driving, so I want to see how it looks daytime and nighttime. Okay, I have the album pulled up here, and you kind of see it shows, like in this example, it shows the front and rear. So it says F and R. That's the front and rear of the same time of clips. So you can see kind of the front there and the rear of that time. Let's take a look at the front camera footage. Here's a look at some of the footage. It is helpful to have your phone as close to the camera as possible. I found if you have it down a little lower, it doesn't load as quickly. So the closer you have your phone, the better. This is just kind of an overview. You can kind of see the footage. It actually looks pretty clear. It's like what you would see out the window itself. It's not grainy. It's a very clear picture at night. Let me show you some photos, video during the daytime. If you go down here at the bottom, see it says download? You can download the footage, and it just downloads that 1 minute clip to your photo reel. So you have it in your photo album on your phone, and you could share it. You know, if you had an accident and you share it with the police or an insurance company, that's easy to do that way. When I'm holding my phone on portrait style, like the GPS, the time, speed, everything's underneath where the play bar is. But you can see how good that video is. I don't even have it on the highest resolution either, but nice and clear dash cam footage. This is from the front, and we'll get some footage, show you some footage from the rear. So you can see right there the date, time, GPS coordinates, and then the speed, which is really cool. This is just merging onto a highway here, but even with the sun kind of glaring into it, you can actually see pretty well out of there. It's positioned really well. Very clear footage for the rear camera. So this is just kind of like a day's worth of driving. It's just going to record 1 minute clips. You can see how it says F and R is the front and rear, so you can kind of see which. So there's basically 2 clips for each 1 minute of driving, and then it's just going to keep recording over itself. You can do longer clips, 2 or 3 minutes if you wanted to have longer, but it'd be easier to find an incident if you needed to. So I really like the ease of use. I like the album here. It looks like it stores everything nice and easily. Has the date right at the top of the category, and then the time, kind of like a military time, which makes it a little easier to find clips when you're looking for those. So that's really where you want to have a dash cam that has easy footage to get to. If I wanted to also, I could just take the SD card out and put it in a computer or an SD card reader and read it like that if I wanted to save that, and then it'll just keep writing over. The oldest files will get deleted, the newest ones will get written. Go into the settings here, see how the SD card, 49 gigs available. So I would say you'd probably get a couple days, 2, 3, 4 days worth of driving saved on the card, and then it'll just write over itself and that. So you have a lot of different settings here. Resolution, the loop, how many minutes it's going to record at a time. You can have all this stuff here. If you don't want audio recording, if you don't want recording what's inside the car, you can remove that as well. You can turn that off. So I'm impressed with this dash cam. I really like all the features of it. Really easy to access the clips. So just from Wi-Fi from your phone, you can pull out the SD card. I like both the front and the rear camera footage that's on there. It includes the 64 gig SD card already included. That's going to give several hours of footage on your recorded on there. And then you don't have to worry about deleting it. It just automatically write over the old footage. It was also easy to install. You just got to run the wires up in the headliner, tuck those away, plug it into a 12-volt socket, and you're really good to go. So it's going to be recording the whole time in the background, and then if you ever need that footage, it's really going to be helpful when you do. So a big shout out to Ombar for partnering with us for this video. Be sure to see the link to this down below. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.